All right, so section 510, these are working together problems, okay? And there is a formula that you use in order to do these working together problems. So the formula is the following: T equal to xy divided by x plus y. Okay, where T is the total time it takes both people. So if I were to say like I paint a room in 20 minutes, you paint the room in 15 minutes. That's an amazing rate, by the way, 20 and 15. But how long does it take both of us? That's solving for T. When we say how long does it take both of us to do it? Or they might say I paint a room in 20 minutes, we can both do it in 15. Well, that's T, right? That's my T value, 15, right? So X time for one person to do the job, and Y is time for the other person to do the job. Okay, so time it takes both people is T, the time it takes one person is X, and the time it takes the other person is Y. And we don't try to hide who is doing what. Like, it's going to be obvious in the problem. Okay, they're not going to be trying like, oh, let's see if they can see that there's a number right here. We're going to hide it within these other words. Like, no, it's pretty obvious. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of scroll this up a little bit, and I'm going to pause the video, give you guys about a minute or two, probably 2 minutes to write this down. Then we'll go over the problem. Okay, and we're going to do this about 4 times. All right, so just unpaused here. So remember, the formula is T equal to xy over x plus y. Now, if I want to be a little bit more obvious with my work, I can basically do this. I can say x is Peter mows in 20 minutes. Now, do you have to do this? No, I'm just doing it for notes purposes, okay? Y is John mows in 40 minutes. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out T, so I'm going to plug that in. T is equal to 20 times 40 over 20 plus 40. So that means that T is equal to 20 times 40, that's 800, over 60. Now 800 over 60, I can reduce it by crossing out one of these zeros here, so that's just 80 over 6. And I can bring that down to, if I divide by 2, to 40 over 3. I'm just trying to reduce as much as I can before I plug it into a calculator. So all right, 40 divided by 3 is approximately 13.333 minutes. I always like to have 3 numbers after the decimal, unless the number ends. So if it was like 12.5, well then it's 12.5. But if it's like 13.3876285, I always try to leave 3 numbers after. So I mean that's not that tough, right? I mean, just plug it in, work it out, you're fine. The harder ones are the ones where they tell you the total and one person, and you get to solve for the other one, but it's not like it's insanely difficult. It's just more work, okay? So any questions on this one? So it's going to take both of them 13.3 minutes, 3/10, that's 30%, 30% of 60 minutes. What is that, 18 minutes? So, or 18 seconds, I'm sorry, 18 seconds. So 13 minutes and 18 seconds. You don't have to do that conversion. Don't worry. Just give me the decimal and we're good. All right. So let's go to the next one. I'm going to pause the video so you guys can write this one down. I'll give you about 2.5 minutes. All right, so again, the formula for this is t equal to xy over x plus y. And again, I always write my formula because it helps me remember it. And for you guys, if you don't memorize this, because like if you don't sit there and just literally try memorizing, the easiest way to memorize math is to write it. So writing it down is going to be helpful. I think you have like 8 or 10 questions on your homework, so I would tell you write down this formula every single time you do a problem. That way it sticks in your head without you even trying. Okay? So here we go. I know that t is 6 hours. And we'll just say x. I know I usually use y, but we'll say x is for Joan, and that's 8 hours. So I'm going to put right here 8 hours. That means that y is for Dan, but we don't know the amount of time. So we got to figure out the y value. That's what they want us to do. Figure out how long it takes Dan to do the job. So let's plug in our information. 6 is equal to 8y over 8 plus y. Now I have to solve for y, and I cannot just cancel them. I can't do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply the 8 plus y to the left side. Okay, I'm going to take this whole thing and multiply it over there. Okay, so it's going to look like this. 6 times 8 plus y is equal to 8y. Now let me distribute 6 times 8, that's 48, plus 6 times y is 6y, equal to 8y. Now I got to combine my y's together, so let me get my 6y and move it over to the right by subtracting it on both sides. So 6y on both sides becomes 48, equal to 2y. And in order to solve for y, I have to divide both sides by 2. So let me just kind of do this over here. So 48 divided by 2 is equal to 2y divided by 2. So y is 24 what? What are my units? Hours, right? So 24 hours. That's how long it would take that person to clean the store by themselves. This got to be a big store. Either that or he's super lazy. Right? She can do it in 8. That's what happens when you do a job but you have your cell phone with you. It becomes 24 hours, not 8. Right? No, there's a lot of TikTok hours there. So, not too bad. And these are the hard ones, by the way. This is like the hard problem. The easier one is when you know both of them, both people. The hard one is when you know one person and the total time. So these are the tough problems right here. They don't get any harder than that. Maybe the numbers might differ, but the process is the same. Okay? All right, let's do another one here. Again, I would recommend, because I think we have 2 more to go. I would really recommend that you kind of like just write down the important stuff, because this is kind of long, right? So let me pause the video again. All right, so Will and Matthew own a small business. Will, working alone, can complete a job in 6 hours. Matthew can complete the same job in 10. How long would it take them to complete the job working together? So here's our formula, right? T equals to xy over x plus y. I know that x is going to be Will, and that's in 6 hours, they said. And then y is going to be Matthew, and that's in 10 hours. So I got to figure out the t value. So t is equal to 6 times 10 over 6 plus 10. So t is equal to 60 over 16. And if you want to reduce it, you can. You can reduce that by 4. You might even be able to go more. Because if I reduce it by 4, this becomes 15 over 4. So that's 3.75 hours. And it literally takes you longer to write the problem. You okay with that one? Not too bad? So one more, then you guys will have your assignment. By the way, your assignment is on quizzes, okay? It's going to be on quizzes. So you have to get out your computer and work on it. Again, I want to reiterate, Alex, I know it gets old, sorry, but if everybody did it, I'd stop reminding you guys. The problem is I have like students in my second period, like one of my girls there. She's done pretty well. She only had like one bad test, which she didn't pass. But other than that, she's getting like B's and C's and stuff like that. But her grade's pretty low because she didn't do her first Alex. So she got a 0. And since we've only done one Alex, that 10% grade, it dropped her 10%. So she should have a B, but she has a C right now. Okay. Now, if she does the next Alex, she'll only lose 5%, so her grade could go up 5%. And then if she does the extra credit, it might go up a little bit more. But again, guys, Alex is an easy thing to do. I know it's not the most exciting thing, but just it's a gimme. It was meant for you guys to practice a little bit of math and to get credit easily, and a way for you to get extra credit all the time without having to do a project. Because I used to make people write projects. They wanted extra credit, so they used to do the history of a mathematician. It was a 6-page paper about the mathematician, their early life, their accomplishments, and what they left that was important for us in the world today. It was a big assignment. A lot of people wanted to do it because they wanted extra credit. Nobody ever turned it in, though, because they knew it was a lot of work, right? Now I'm giving you free extra credit. All you got to do is just do the Alex, right? So make sure you guys are doing that, especially if your grades are a little lower than you prefer. Make sure you guys are doing that. So, all right, let's get to this one. It can take Peter 20 days to build a house garage all by himself. If he works with his friend, together they can build a house garage in 16 days. How many days will it take the friend to complete the job alone? Okay, so t equals to xy over x plus y. I know that they gave me the t value, which was 16. So together it takes 16 days. Peter takes 20 days. The friend, which they didn't even give a name to, we don't know how many days. So just plug it in, work it out. So here we go. T is 16. So 16 equals to 20y over 20 plus y. All right, now we're going to multiply, right? Get this denominator over to the other side by multiplying it out. So it's going to look like this. 16 times 20 plus y is equal to 20y. All right, now let's distribute. So 16 times 20, that's 320 plus 16y is equal to 20y. We'll subtract 16 on both sides. So minus 16y. And we get 320 is equal to 4y. And if we divide everything by 4, okay, what do we get? 80? Yeah, 80. So the friend is going to take 80 days. That is a long time. Find a better worker. That's a long time. You can tell when you do these enough, you can tell whether the person that you're working with is lazier or a harder worker than you based on the time it takes you. So let's say it took you 10 hours, and let's say together they say 8 hours. So if it only takes one person 10 hours, and with two people it only gets reduced by 2, that means the other one doesn't work very much because it only reduced it by a little bit. But if it takes you 10 hours and together it takes half of your time or less, so let's say 4 hours or 2 hours, that means the other person is a hard worker and they tend to help you out so you can cut the job in half, right? So you can kind of tell whether the next person is going to be a good worker or not based on how long it takes them. But anyway, there you go. So not terrible problems. Like I said, I'm gonna send the assignment to you guys right now because I don't have it there yet. Um, but I'll give it to you guys so you can start working on it right now. If you don't want to work on that now and you have Alex that you haven't done, work on Alex. Again, that's a 10% chunk of your grade. Okay? If you didn't do it last time, get it done this time.